All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Kevin back at you with a video from a verse and view. And one of the main things that I want to convey on this particular channel, particularly if you're a Christian, is to respond and not react. Always respond and not react. Because as a Christian, we know that, you get tried in all types of diverse situations, circumstances, and relationships. But the thing that's going to separate us from everyone else, at least the scripture says that a Christian should be known by their love. Okay. The scripture also says, if at all possible, live peaceably with all men. Okay. So one of the ways that we do that is by responding and not reacting to every situation that comes up. All right. Don't be a peace breaker, because in a lot of situations, God is dealing with somebody. And if you interfere with that, it can cost you. Proverbs 26:17 says, whoever meddles in a quarrel that's not his own is like somebody who takes or grabs basically a passing dog by the ears. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more as this story unfolds with this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start up this article or this news report, and I want to react to it. All right, Cutie, go ahead and say the news.
A family disturbance in North Harris County ends with one man dead and 3 others in the hospital, including an infant. Authorities say this started with an altercation between a mother and father on Duran Canyon Lane. We're told the two were pulled over at a gas station, got out of the car, and continued to argue. When things escalated, the woman jumped back into the vehicle and took off, leaving the man behind. Deputies say that's when he stole a car and chased behind her.
All right. So let's go over what she just said. First of all, we got mom and dad arguing. They have a baby. I believe it's going to go on to say that there's another woman who's also in the car with them. So they pull over and they continue to argue. And somehow, I guess some way while they're arguing, she finessed him. She jumped back in the car and she drove off. Now, I don't know who was driving, if it was he that was driving first or it was her, but either way, when she drove off, he goes and he steals another car. Okay. And so that kind of should to tell you the type of person that we're dealing with here, with this. All right. More than likely it was her car. He was probably in the passenger side, and they get out and they're arguing. She finessed him. She jumped back in the car and drove off. His pride got the better of him. He gets angry. He runs and he steals somebody else's car, and he goes chasing off after her, and that tells you the type of person, that he is. And again, when people start hanging out, or this is the type of people that a lot of these women pick, we can't just be there to save them. All right. Because if he's Glocktavius, he's chasing her down at high speed, he stole a car. Okay. And then it goes even further. All right, as the guy's gonna outline, with this. But again, if we're on the outside of this looking in, if this is our relative, okay, again, it's not our jobs to come in as men to come and save them from the situations that they put themselves in. Okay, we have to be responsive and not reactive. All right, every time one of our family members, particularly the females, get in trouble, because again, it can cost us. All right, and that's the message that I want to convey, as this report goes on.
So what we have, the way it starts, it's kind of like a family disturbance inside of a vehicle. The vehicle stops somewhat behind me at this gas station, and I believe a mother and father of a young infant that's in the car get out and start arguing. The female gets back in the car, drives off. They leave the man behind. He ends up deciding to steal a vehicle. He steals a vehicle at the gas station and chases after the car. So they're flying up and down Veterans Memorial behind me, and I think all the while they are calling, the females in the car are calling family members that live nearby.
All right, like, what is this, Grand Theft Auto? So he goes and he steals the car, like I said, because he's upset because he got finessed while they were arguing. And the woman, instead of calling the police, she goes and she starts calling family members.
Behind me, I think you can still see some of the aftermath. Both of them wreck out during this chase, and they don't strike each other, but both of them wreck near the same area. 2 women and the infant were ejected from the vehicle, from what we understand, but they were both okay. They were transported to the hospital. They both were okay. They're both.
All right, nobody's wearing seat belts. They got thrown out the vehicle. Fortunately, none of them died. But look at these people. Again, demolition people, demo people that don't care about their own lives, didn't care about anybody else's lives. So much mayhem, is happening, over an argument because people can't control their emotions, and I'll get into that part a little bit later, but hold on for a minute because it's continuing on here.
The suspects that stole the truck and his estranged, common law wife, I believe, mother of his child, they get out and they start making their way down here. Family starts showing up, and an individual, I believe that was a male family member of the young woman, shows up. Some type of confrontation, altercation happens, and he is unfortunately shot and killed.
Okay, and they're trying to be really nice about all of this. Okay, common law wife, no, baby mama. All right, they're not married. Okay, and the young man obviously has some issues. He steals a car. He's driving after his baby mom. All right, high speed chase. He has a gun on him. What kind of person does that? What kind of person steals a vehicle and then they also have a gun on them? And then what happens is family members show up, maybe this guy is probably, the girl's cousin, or something like that, and then there's a confrontation, they could have been killed. What's wrong with you? The usual stuff. They're probably getting in each other's faces. And then baby dad pulls out a gun and unalives the cousin. All right. And again, I don't know if that's his cousin or not. They didn't even give the race or anything of any of these people involved. But either way, no matter who it is, again, we've got a failure of people, again, not controlling their emotions. But my main point with this was the person who was unalived in the end. Again, Proverbs 26:17, whoever meddles in a quarrel that is not his own is like someone who takes a passing dog, a stray dog, by the ears. You don't know if the dog is friendly. You don't know what he is. All right, but you just see a dog going by and you just gonna go and grab him.
No. No, he's sleeping.
Come on, man.
To conclude, mind your business, okay? Don't be a peace breaker. Be wise out here in these streets, particularly here in 2026. Do not be over emotional. Think logically. If someone starts blowing up your phone and they start saying, oh, my boyfriend is crazy, my husband is crazy, he's chasing after us, our first reaction should be, did you call the police? It's not this type of thing where, all right, I'll be right there. All right, because again, this boyfriend that you got, you picked him. Okay, maybe some people told you to leave him alone. He wasn't any good, but that's who you wanted. That's who you chose. You knew he was dangerous before you got there. So we have to be wise, okay, and not to just throw our lives away needlessly because people start asking for it, or that's their demand for it. No, we don't owe anyone but love. Okay, so let's be responsive and not reactive, and let's be wise. And if it's not our business, let it go, because we have to suffer the consequences of our own decisions, all of us. All right, but that's all I got. You can leave your comments below. Thanks for watching.